Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both mics.
Hey everybody, welcome to Both Mics.
Both Mics is a show about nothing and everything. That over there is Mike Sofka.
And that over there, whichever side he's on, because I'm too lazy to look right now, is Mike Taylor. Yes. And together, we're Both Mics.
We are Both Mics. Welcome to show number 129.
Jesus.
Yes, the Jesus Show. 129, episode 129. You can hear us anywhere podcasts can be heard. Look us up on YouTube. Find us on Facebook. Go to bothmics.com. Go to our merch page. Buy some merchandise. Yes, nice. We have awesome Both Mics merchandise. You can find it at bothmics.com. Mr. Sofka, how are you? How's things? How's life?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good.
You went to the show. You went to the concert.
The show.
Yes, the show. Tell me about the show.
Well, 2.5 years in the making. I was taking my newborn Nicholas to doctor's appointments right after he was born when I bought these tickets. And we'll go through a little bit of it. I was living in San Antonio at the time, and tickets went on sale for everything, all the shows, and Orlando was the only show that I can go to. I'm like, right, well, I could have went to any show, but I elected Orlando because the fact that Mom is here, blah, 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 and, I'll go to the Orlando show.
We're talking about the Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan, Jett. Did I leave anybody out?
Classless acts. Yeah, the stadium tour. Yeah, it would have been nice if I started with that, right?
Yeah, it's all right, though. It's all right. We're good. We're good. We got it.
So I bought these tickets back in 2019, 2020. And I bought Orlando shows because that was the show that was available for me. Excuse me. And like a couple days later, they announced more shows, one of them being San Antonio, Texas, where I was living. So I put up my Orlando tickets for sale on the scalper section of Ticket Bastard and sold them and turned around and bought San Antonio tickets. Well, 9 months later, I moved to St. Augustine. I don't need my San Antonio tickets anymore. But hey, if it's the only chance I have, we'll go back and visit family and see the San Antonio show.
Sure.
And then I realized, oh, hey, look, they have a Jacksonville show. So when it came time for them to cancel the show for 2021, after they canceled for 2020, I decided to go for a refund on the San Antonio tickets. So got a refund on them and bought Jacksonville tickets on the field. Second section back, third row. Best I could do for my wife, who's 5'1"3/4", and I'm 6'3", so I could see anywhere, anytime. And couldn't get aisle seats because it would be best for her because she could just like kind of pop out in the aisle and see down the aisleway, but couldn't do it. So day finally comes this past Saturday, July 2nd, 2022, after 2.5 years of waiting and hundreds of dollars spent. It's time for the show. So we're lucky enough. My sister came up and for the weekend, so she babysat, and we headed off to have a late lunch, early dinner. We went to Ale House, good old Ale House, nice, inexpensive. Had a couple pitchers of cocktails and headed off to the TIAA Bank Field where the Jacksonville Jaguars play. And got good parking. A lot of places were looking for $40 for parking. On the east side of the stadium, there's different side streets, and some place was offering $15 for parking. It was a parking lot. It was paved, and we headed down that way. $15. Walked to the stadium. We bought rain ponchos. And I had them in my back pocket. I was actually debating when we left the car if I wanted to carry these in my pocket. And glad we did. Glad we did. As we went in, God, there was like basically no security. You went through a metal detector, no wands, no frisking, no empty your pockets, no nothing. And, they told you to bring one bottle of water. I could have brought a gallon of water. They would have not have known. and got in, 0 issues, no problem. Tickets from Ticketmaster scanned off my phone without an issue, and then it started to rain. We didn't even
welcome to the show. Now let the rain start. Yeah. I know how you feel, Mike. I lived through Rockville this year.
Yep. The band Classless Acts, I don't even know. I think they went on at 4:00. They played for like 20 minutes, seriously, and they were just like a throw-in band. Like they probably got a favor from somebody or some deal like that. They played for 20 minutes. I have no idea. We were actually walking into the stadium when I heard them. So
okay,
the one song
it started raining and then they shut it down.
Yeah. Well, I guess they got their 4 songs in and they shut it down, and the rain started like you wouldn't believe, and probably had to wait for a good hour or so until Joan Jett came on because the rain kind of subsided. And they'll play in the rain. It's the lightning within a perimeter of I guess 10 miles or so that stops the show. And when you walk in, we were on the south side of the stadium, and that's where the entrance is to the field. And they have a huge area there. They had all kinds of bars open and almost like different booths for food. They had a freaking convenience store located in there, a Daly's convenience store.
Yeah.
And we hung out and just made friends.
Sure.
And
what else are you going to do?
With the main merchandise was right there. Picked up a couple T-shirts.
Nice.
And,
all right, good.
Yeah.
Old school cassettes.
Old school cassettes. They have all the different bands on there, and then of course on the back it has all the cities that they played or play in, and downstairs merch booth was crazy, dude. There was hundreds of people, and I'm like, let me go up to the mezzanine and see. And sure enough, mezzanine was fine. We got through there a good 15 minutes, and headed back down, got some more drinks.
Perfect.
Joan Jett comes on and it's raining. She does her set, and then all of a sudden, boom, more lightning. So we're on a pause after Joan Jett for about 2 hours. 2 hours.
Did they announce that, or you just assumed
it's on a screen?
Okay.
The screens throughout the venue will tell you, due to electrical activity in the area, blah blah blah.
So they're watching the weather at this point, going, we got about 2 hours of this crap. All right.
Yeah. So the thing is the last bolt of lightning within 10 miles, they count
resets the clock.
Resets the clock for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. So Poison came on, and it was light rain, and of course we had our ponchos on. Now this is the first time we actually got onto the field. We actually went on the field for Joan Jett for a little bit, and it was raining so hard that as you enter from the backstage area to the field, there's kind of a lull.
Right. Yeah.
And this collects water.
Oh, no.
So we had to wade through about 6 inches of water to get onto the field. Yeah. It was bad. I'm like, okay, this stadium probably cost, close to $1 billion to build. $1 billion with a B. And their drainage is like this. I'll post some pictures and I'll post a video up on the Both Mike's Facebook page. You could see the storm drains, the sewer caps. Those are a couple 100 pounds
floating.
It was like something out of an amusement park. It was like they were rising and going, and you could see the water just shooting out of them. I couldn't believe that this was even possible. And it wasn't just one, it was 2 in the area right by the bars and the convenience store that we were hanging out by. And so getting back, Poison, they played their set. I think it was an abbreviated set. They were supposed to play for an hour, and I don't think they played for a complete hour. Brett was back because Brett was out with dehydration issues from the Nashville show last Thursday. And he came back. He was good. He didn't do the meet and greet beforehand, so people who shelled out the $1,000 for the meet and greet didn't get to see the lead singer. They just got to see the other 3 guys.
Wow.
Yeah. And, of course, no refunds on that. Take it or leave it. So, of course, we hung out and still had our ponchos on. And finally, it let up. I would say probably close to 7 o'clock or so. It finally let up. And we had people behind us. God, chatterboxes. My wife, God bless my wife. But, yeah, she's like, the girls are annoying me.
I saw somebody had a shirt, and it's like on the back of the shirt. It was a black shirt, and on the back it said something like, "I'm sorry, is this band interrupting your conversation?" Like that. I was like, yeah, I need that shirt.
I have a T-shirt like that. Yeah. Yep, I do.
All right, so Poison sounded good?
Poison sounded great, yeah.
Joan Jett sounded good?
Joan Jett sounded surprisingly good. She's in her 70s, right? From what I understand.
I guess.
I think she's 75 for some. No, she can't be that old. Maybe she is. I don't know. But yeah, she sounded really good. She sounded like Joan Jett from the 1980s. And Poison was good. Next up was Motley Crue, and of course, Motley Crue wasn't the headliner this time around. They were they're co-headlining, but they were on before Def Leppard, and usually it's daylight when they do that. So it was getting dark, so they were in full effect. No pyro, no booms, no boom, 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 nothing like that.
Yeah, they usually do that shit for just the headliners for some reason, I've noticed, even at a show like this where they alternate. I've been to one exception. I'll tell you about that later. Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, none, depending on which slot they play, they're not doing any pyro. And the stage was really big. It was a big full size stage that you would see in a stadium, but
it was only half.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting something more. Like you ever see YouTube Stadium? When YouTube played stadiums, they had this gigantic octopus-looking stage. Yeah. And Metallica has this gigantic stage.
And usually the stage is in one end zone, and then the whole field all the way down to the other end zone is seating and standing and stuff. But this show was like, maybe the stage was like on a 50-yard line or so, or what?
No, the stage was all the way to the back, but I would say the seating only went back probably 3/4 of the way.
Oh, okay.
I think they did that because they didn't want seating on the baseball diamond for certain stadiums and things like that. So that's how they had their lighting and their sound setting back.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I was expecting more of a stage, because you go to a Motley show, usually it's a spectacle. Usually Tommy Lee's doing something with the drums. He's flying overhead or going
the upside down thing.
Upside down, yeah. Nothing. He did play the full set with, I guess he's healed enough to be able to play the entire set now. But yeah, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary. A lot of lasers, a couple flares, some smoke.
How did Vince sound?
Vince sounded surprisingly well.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say he's lean, The poor guy is half Mexican. Yeah, what can you say?
Nice. And send those racist comments into.
Yeah. But yeah, he sounded really good for 61, and he wasn't lean, skinny, but he wasn't a doughy, abominable snowman that he typically can be.
He wasn't quite the guy who ate Vince Neil. He was
Vince Neil, not Vince Meal.
Okay. All right. So they had a good set. Yeah, I mean, they didn't overwhelm you. You've seen them a bunch of times. And, they do put on the show, but everything sounded good. Everybody was good.
Yeah, everything sounded good. No flubs, no popping, no hissing. Everything was good.
They played for about an hour?
They played probably, hour and 10 minutes. They were supposed to play for an hour and a half. It's obvious that their set was cut short due to the lightning and the timing and everything.
Sure.
I was expecting to play certain songs and they didn't.
Yeah? What was that? What songs were they?
Well, they played Same Old Situation, which Vince plays guitar on. And the other song he plays guitar on, or as a rhythm, is Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away.
Yeah.
Didn't play it.
Wow.
My understanding that they have been playing Teaser by Thin Lizzy as a cover song. And I heard somewhere that that they were playing that, didn't play it. They played Shout at the Devil. They played a couple songs off of each one. Like they didn't play Smoking in the Boys' Room, but they don't play that anymore. Nothing from Saints of Los Angeles. But yeah, I would say they probably cut 2 or 3 songs out that they probably normally would have.
All right. So then Def Leppard was able to come on at a reasonable time, and they had a full show.
Yeah, they came on after 10 o'clock, and probably closer to 10:30, maybe 11. I really didn't check the time until we left, and we left out of the venue after 12 o'clock. But yeah, they came on, and they're tight. They're really good. They have no qualms about their expertise, to the point where it was maybe too good. It was too polished. If I want to hear like the perfect song, you put the CD in.
Right. Exactly. Right? No,
you want to hear a live version of the same song.
Right.
And but yeah, they were just money. They were spot on. They all looked good. Rick had no issues with his drums. Guitar players were good.
I used to live by Rick Savage, the drummer there. Isn't that the drummer, Rick? Is that who?
Rick Allen.
Rick Allen. Yeah. Yeah. And one year we had a Halloween party at the house, and he came over. He dressed as a slot machine. All right. You can go ahead and leave your nasty comments. That's fine. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, Rick Allen, Brenda and I saw him on the Masters of Rock cruise, and I think he was probably on the same floor as us, because we've seen him a couple times as we came and went from our room. And we, of course, everybody knows we have the great segment "Get Off My Lawn" here at both mics, and I had my "Get Off My Lawn" T-shirt on,
nice.
And he actually stopped us in the hallway and said, "That's a freaking fantastic shirt. I got to get one of those." Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll send him one. Yeah. We'll get one to send it.
So
all right. Yeah. So the whole show, success. It was good. It was worth it.
Yeah, it was good. It was long. My back was starting to hurt a little bit. I'm glad I had a chair in front of me to kind of lean on a little bit.
Yeah.
Because getting old sucks.
Now, was there any of that guy at the concert? That guy who's passed out drunk, that guy who's getting escorted out by security. I mean, because we've been that guy before.
Yeah, we've been that guy.
Curious.
I didn't.
Was that guy?
I saw a security scramble a couple times heading up front with some Duval County sheriffs. But I didn't see anybody come out in cuffs, nothing like that. A lot of wigs, a lot of guys in wigs.
Like they're wearing their band hair on purpose, like it's 80s night at the club or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a guy 2 rows up, and he had his hair all done up. He had the wig.
Spandex.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, dude.
With the zebra stripe spandex. And then there was a guy dressed as Vince and Nikki. They were together running around.
Like there comes a certain age where I don't want to see dudes in spandex. Yeah. Like David Lee Roth back in the day, Vince Neil back in the day. That's what the gig was. That's what it was. Right. That's what they wore, and that's good. But like when you're getting up there in age, and their fans are getting up there in age, I don't need to see that shit anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of guys, and probably the most wigs I've seen at any concert ever in my life. So it was different and interesting. A lot of people watching, a lot of drinking. But yeah, I didn't see any nefarious activities going on. There was no flashing, nothing like that.
Wow.
Everything was kind of calm.
Wow, that's surprising.
But then again, we were down in our own little area. If we were probably closer to the
nowadays,
edge,
the median age of the crowd, most women at that show don't feel confident enough probably to give a flash. Maybe. I mean, is that fair?
I think the older you get, the less crap you would give.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But then why don't we see more of it?
Maybe they hang too low and you wouldn't see it over the crowd.
That's what I'm saying. There must be some sort of reason.
But yeah, it was good. And of course, when we got out, we thought we were going the way we came in. Yes. And we got shifted by a block. So we went for a walk down the wrong street, and we're like, where the hell's our car?
Yeah, that's not good around there.
Yeah, so then we had to backtrack and everything, and Brenda had high heels on, and they got wet, so she was getting blisters, and my feet hurt because we're sliding around in my wet shoes. And
yeah, usually when if I've been in that situation one time before, and at that stadium, and I mean, the first thing I did when I got to a situation is I picked up a bottle that was laying on the side of the road. And I was like, if shit's going down, I'm gonna take one with me. I know I got a bottle here.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing happened. I did. But I get it. A lot of those big stadiums and arenas and so forth, they're located at areas where a lot of streets have numbers and directions and churches, chickens and shit.
And letters.
Yeah.
Well, that's the revitalization project. That's how these developers and NFL teams and NBA teams convince the city that they're going to revitalize a struggling neighborhood.
Yeah, all right. Hence that money went.
Hence the Citrus Bowl and the arena.
Did I tell you my plan for that? That I'm going to put the NFL and Roger Goodell on fire. Here's the deal. They gave a certain organization, a certain political organization, 3 letters. They gave them like $85 million, like 2-3 years ago when all this stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And they did that, as a coming to peace with things. And, here we're taking the lead. We're taking the charge. Well, it's possible for you to become an NFL owner, Mike. You and I could both become an NFL owner. Yes. The Green Bay Packers are a publicly traded team. So that means there's stock available in the Green Bay Packers. So you can literally buy stock. So I'm thinking about buying 1 share of stock so I can be a stockholder. Yes. Now I can demand accountability from Roger Goodell about where those funds went, because the ownership of my team gets a portion of the ownership of the NFL.
Correct.
So I need accountability of that $85 million, Roger. That's all I need. Or I'll tell you what. Send me a check for $8.5 million and I'll keep my mouth shut. How about that?
Right, just 10%.
Yes.
It's only just 10%. We're good.
So I went by Wawa today.
Yes.
I had to go somewhere. I had to go somewhere in Winter Garden today, and it was a Wawa there. So I whipped in there and got some gas, and I was surprised on the way out. On the backside of Wawa, they had eight Tesla charging stations there.
Yep.
Now, I've seen a video on YouTube recently where a guy was taking his Tesla charging stations out. And this was somewhere in Texas because Tesla hasn't sent them any money. He put them in like so long ago, and Tesla's supposed to be giving him money for this, and they're not, and they haven't been. So he's like covering it up. And so I'm just curious, have you noticed that anywhere in any gas stations or anywhere? Have you noticed more availability of EV charging, or have you not noticed it? Because it's like when you buy a white car, all of a sudden all you see is white cars. So maybe because you haven't needed it, you haven't seen it, or?
Well, the only thing I have to go by where we are is a Gate gas station, which is a chain here in Texas. It'd be like the same as going to Valero. And they installed probably 4 or 5, I would say, in the past year. They're not Tesla charging stations, but they are EV charging stations. Also, Bucky's don't have any. Bucky's doesn't have any, but the Gate gas station does.
Yeah, well, Bucky's doesn't want you parked at a pump for 2 hours. They want you in there stuffing your face for 2 hours. They want you in there buying freaking bricks of fudge and $12 sandwiches. And it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Bucky's fan. I just think it's funny. Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah. And a couple strips of beef jerky.
Well, this video here I'm putting up, reason why I'm bringing this up, this video here I'm putting up here and post that EV charging line in California was almost a mile long the way I looked at it. And I posted it up here. So take a look at it. That's what that is. That's what I'm talking about here. It was a long ass time. And I'm just wondering, even the quickest of these quick charge things I hear take a little while. I mean, 20, 30 minutes at least, right?
Yeah. So
if you have, 5 of these things and there's 50 people in front of me, that's a good 200 minutes, Hey, what's up, Zander? How are you? Hey, Zander, how are you? How are you, Zander? Hey. What's going on? You're on mute, Mike.
I'm on mute. Okay.
Yes, there you go. Hey, what's going on, Zander? How are you? I see. We were just talking about Bucky's. Do you like Bucky's?
Yes.
Oh, good. What's your favorite thing at Bucky's? What do you like? Do you like those beaver nuggets?
I just like those Beaver eyes.
With what?
He said beaver nuggets.
Oh, beaver nuggets. Yeah. Those are good.
Beaver eyes.
And you get
Stuffed animal.
gummy
Oh,
bears.
the stuffed animals. Yeah.
You know, you got the stuffed animals, and you got the T-shirts. They got everything.
That's how they get them. Train them up starting young.
Yep.
Get them hooked. All right. Thank you for stopping by, Zander.
All
right.
And that's Mike giving his instructions to his young one there. He's muted the mic there. That's why you can't hear that. But anyway.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, anyway, this line at the charging thing is just...
It's ridiculous.
You know what? It's got me thinking that it's time for us to go right into the alien update.
Yes.
Fast-looking alien! Where? Back! Warning! Alien approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous for Earth people!
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien, too, but I think he's an alien robot. You could be an alien robot, right? Like, not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
All right, the alien update. This is the part of the show where we talk about the people we think are aliens, or they've had alien contact or interference. We're talking about Musk. We're talking about Bezos. We're talking about Zuckerberg. We're talking about Branson. We're talking about Gates. We're talking about all these people, Bezos, all these people who have changed our lives in the near recent past here, socially, economically, culturally, and they just happen to be the 7 or so people out of 7 billion people on the planet to be able to do this. Oh, and they're all the richest people on the planet as well. No coincidence. So I say they're aliens or have had alien assistance. What do you think, Mike?
I've always thought that you've been out of your mind, but yeah, that's another show.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's time for the alien update here. I know at times it turns into the Musk hour, but no, it's not the Musk hour. But this one is about Musk company, Tesla. There's a company in China called BYD, BYD, I guess, BYD. It's a Chinese automaker. They're backed by Warren Buffett. They just surpassed Tesla in the sale of electrified vehicles.
Wow.
They sold 683,157 electric or plug-in hybrid passenger vehicles in the first 6 months of 2022, according to company filings on July 3rd. The figure represents a nearly 325% year-on-year increase from the same period last year. In June alone, BYD sold 133,762 electric or plug-in hybrid passenger vehicles. In the first 2 quarters of 2022, BYD sold 323,000, yada, yada, yada. They're selling. Here's the big picture here. They're saying Tesla delivered a total of 564,743 vehicles in the first 6 months. Now, mind you, I want to remind you about our talk with the guy from GM. They came out and, they sold like 36 and they're going to take over Tesla.
Right.
Stop. So anyway, I'm concerned because some of these things like Tesla, for instance, had challenges, I guess, with supply chain issues. Meanwhile, this Chinese company, BYD, well, guess what? That's where all the chips and parts are coming from. That's where the lithium is coming from. That country has all the access to all those rare earth minerals to make the batteries and so forth. And that's where most of the semiconductors and chips and stuff were sent from China. Well, Guess what? It's not out on a boat. It's there. That's why they're selling more. Availability. Your best ability is availability. So
if you look on YouTube, these are actually some pretty nice cars.
I got some pictures here I'm putting up in post that shows
they got a hatchback.
Yeah.
They got a
sedan. SUV. Yeah.
They have an SUV. I wonder what the pricing is in comparison. Wow.
That's a good question. I don't know all that stuff, but
all right. Let's use the Google box. What's the Google box say? Yep. I need a new page.
Here's another thing. Tesla was forced to temporarily close its factory in Shanghai during a COVID-19 outbreak in the city earlier this year. In China, BYD's shares have risen 36% since January, and the company was able to avoid the lockdown-spurred factory closures. That's because the Chinese government probably owns some of the company,
Yeah, well, that's how the communist countries are. It's probably a country-run thing. $84.42 a share.
They said that's up
close enough.
36% since January. So
$32,800 for the extended range. So
Nice.
yeah, that's
Wow. You got a barker.
yeah, stupid ass. Brenda just got home.
So our boy Musk is also in the news because his Starlink satellites are dodging orbital debris from a Russian missile test.
Wow.
That's what they're saying here. They're saying that the debris was from the test that has forced Starlink satellites to maneuver over 1,700 times. So they're trying to maneuver around this space junk. It's crazy. It says the cloud of debris, this is according to PCMag.com, the cloud of debris from Russia's anti-satellite missile test last year continues to pose an orbital hazard to SpaceX Starlink system. SpaceX is now maneuvering for Cosmos 1408 debris than any other objects in space. Cosmos 1408 refers to a satellite that the Russian military decided to destroy in a controversial missile test last November. The resulting impact sent thousands of pieces of debris spilling out across Earth's orbit at speeds capable of destroying other satellites in orbit. I didn't think about this, that somebody could blow up something, their own satellite in space, and now you got a ball of shit flying around knocking everybody else's stuff out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The chances of it are slim, I'm sure, but it's still not responsible.
Well, I've seen stuff on TV where they're talking stuff the size of a small bolt or a small washer. You get that going 70,000 miles around the Earth or whatever, 70,000 miles an hour or however fast it goes. I mean, that could destroy something. If it was a car, it would go right through it or something,
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I wonder how Elon's car is doing floating around in space. Wonder where that thing is.
Think it needs to be washed?
Yeah, I'm interested you know what I want to see? I want to see Musk go to Mars and on his way pick up his car and bring it to Mars with him.
Right. he would be just the guy to do that as like a publicity stunt too.
Yeah. Where's he going to charge it? They got more Tesla stations on Mars?
There's a gate gas station there.
Nice. Anyway, I just thought this was fascinating how this whole shakes out here. So whatever. Hey, there's a new study, and I'm showing video of this here. A new study has revealed that our lunar neighbor is getting smaller and experiences strong moonquakes. Now, according to research, the moon has shrunk by approximately 50 meters over the last several 100 million years. This is due to, I know, right? This is due to gradual ongoing cooling of its interior. This, in turn, has made it slightly wrinkled, which has created thrust faults and caused sections of the crust to push up against other sections, producing moonquakes. I guess kind of like we have earthquakes.
Yeah, it sounds like tectonic plates.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It says these lunar quakes are surprisingly strong, measuring up to 5 on the Richter scale. Analysis gives the first evidence that these faults are still active and likely producing moonquakes today as the moon continues to gradually cool and shrink. Here's my question.
Yes.
There's all these people that say, oh, there's nothing going on at the moon. Then there's people that say the moon's hollow. There's people that say we've never been to the moon. There's people that say on the backside of the moon is an alien base.
Yes.
I don't know if
I made of cheese.
Yes. If I go to the moon, I'm going to look for Alice Cramden first thing. I mean,
well, I'll bet she's there.
Yes. Anyway, I wonder if it's true. I mean, I asked the alien. I did have another interview with the alien, and I did ask her about, because I had seen some other things about a guy who was on SEAL Team 6, and apparently since he was a teenager and became a Navy SEAL, I guess because of his testing, both brain-wise and physically-wise, he became a SEAL, but they initiated him into the space program. This is a guy who's probably about our age now, and he turns out, well, actually he's probably a little bit younger. He, one of his first missions was he was fighting beside people or beings from other planets. He's fought a war on Jupiter, on Venus. He's been to the moon. He's been to Mars and so forth. So the guy seemed credible, so I don't know. It was on a real on a real thing. It wasn't no bullshit. It was So I asked her about that, and she said because of her position in Space Force, she couldn't talk all about that. But the guy, from what she's hearing from me, there's no credibility issue that's a possibility, but she can comment on it. So I don't know, dude. I believe this. I believe her. I believe
your next interview will be with him.
I don't know. We'll see. You know what? We might have to give Blue her own show. I'm telling you, dude. Mike Sopka Broadcast Network here. Mike Sopka Broadcast Media presents. I like it. She did talk about this as well. The Large Hadron Collider, CERN. The thing we talked about there has powerful collisions. They smash atoms together. The Large Hadron Collider. Okay.
Yeah.
In Geneva. Okay. Well, they just fired this thing back up, and it went through some powerful thing. They just redid and rebuilt this thing, and it got fired up. Well, she's telling me that there's evildoers behind CERN, and there's the evil forces, if you would, both of this planet and not, are backing the CERN. And meanwhile, there was another positive force that counterbalanced that. And that's why we're moving into a new third eye or a new awakening. And it kind of affected me personally because I could feel the difference in me physically. No shit, dude. Today I felt like, something has changed. Something has clicked. Physically, I'm still a freaking train wreck. But I mean, everything else seems to be, I'm not winning the lotto and I'm not hitting every green light or whatever. I'm just saying it just seems to be things are. And I asked her if that's kind of what she meant. Is humanity taking a step in evolution? Are human beings moving toward this greater thing that she's talking about? And she says yes. I mean, so I don't know. There's some credibility to some of this stuff, I think. But I know, Mike, you don't care. I get it. I mean, I get it. But this is a technology in CERN. They came up with that Higgs boson or boson-Higgs particle. They call that the God particle. This is something that's been around for about 10 years here, but she's saying it's an evil thing. Do you think this is evil?
I don't know enough about it, man.
Well, they had to give it some technology upgrades. It's been around for about 10 years, but technology upgrades and changes all the time. So
exponentially.
By the time you build something like this, you're already looking at the next version of it. It takes so long to do this crap. So anyway, Mike, if you're feeling more positive, if you're feeling like you have a bounce in your step, if you're feeling like, hey, you're walking on sunshine, it might be because of this positive force that went against the CERN's Large Hadron Collider here. So are you feeling any better today? She said this period was between the 2nd and the 6th. So
it's the 7th. So
right. So today you should be feeling better. If you're of a being that can ascend to the next level, that can transcend to where we're going to as a human civilization, if you can get your third eye to work more, do you feel more aware today, or do you feel more alert? Or
no, not today. I'm beat. Usually what's annoying is usually by Thursday I'm exhausted from working the week, and Friday is just kind of like a sail through day. But we had off Monday, so essentially I just finished my 3rd day of work, and normally it's my 4th day of work, and I still feel as exhausted after 3 days that I normally do with 4 days.
Gotcha.
And we didn't do nothing on Monday. We went swimming.
So I'm showing video right now of the Georgia Guidestones. Are you familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, Mike?
No.
Well, the Georgia Guidestones, it's basically a strange rock formation. The Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, in Georgia.
Okay,
not in United States. Right. They call it the southern version of Stonehenge. Most people see these Guidestones as part of the New World Order, which is upon us right now. Others see the Georgia Guidestones as the 10 Commandments of the coming Antichrist. In 1979, a man walked into a Georgia bank with a lot of cash, and he wanted to create the Georgia Guidestones. Money was not a problem. However, he didn't want his real name to be known. And in 1980, a super strange granite stone formation was erected in Elbert County, Georgia. The place has been called the Stonehenge of America, Guidestones. They have weird language scripts on these Guidestones. The languages include Babylonian, Classical Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphs. Basically, these things give warnings to mankind, and it gives a potential transcript to how to deal with things in the future. One of the things was depopulation of the planet and so forth. It gives specifics down to like 7 million, from like 7 billion to like 7 million, if I'm not mistaken. Well, there's video, as you see here, that I posted, and it shows somebody blew up the Georgia Guidestones.
Oh, oops.
Now, in the past day, when I first was alerted to this, I saw the video, and it said lightning struck the Georgia Guidestones. It looked like one of them just blew up.
Right.
Now, ever since these things went up, these small areas, been, people driving by, looky-loos, get out and see, and they didn't want people vandalizing. I guess that was a problem. So they put up camera system there, and they put up a thing letting you know you're on camera and all this stuff. And
right.
They say in one of the videos, and I'm not sure if I'll have this in post for when I do this, but in one of the videos, they spotted a silver or gray car speeding away as that thing blew up. So I also heard reports that not the entire thing was damaged, but things were damaged enough that they decided to demolish the other stones so it's not a hazard or a safety hazard. So I'm second guessing all this stuff here. So I never got to see them. I've been up and down through Georgia. I lived in Georgia for a while, and for some reason I never went to see this, but I've heard a lot about it. I don't know. What do you think, Mike? You think it was a nefarious deed done by some evildoer?
Well, I was going to ask if it was by Stone Mountain, because I've been to Stone Mountain before. And
no, Elbert County. Where the heck is Elbert County? Let's see. I was thinking it was South Georgia. No, it's Northeast.
Okay.
It's Northeast Georgia. It's kind of on the border of, it looks like South Carolina there.
I would think it would probably be someone nefarious. When would it happen? Did it coincide with 4th of July? Was someone trying to be?
I think it was on the 5th. Or the 6th. There was a day this past week here. I don't know exactly which day. I'll Google that through the Google box while we're on here. But there was a UFO day. It was July 2nd. And that's the day they fired up the Hadron Collider, according to Blue Crystal in Phoenix. And that's the day when things went into play between the 2nd and the 6th. So basically, she's telling me that like CERN is circling this shit in one direction. And there was a positive or counter effect going on from the positive vibes into people that are energetically changing us and helping us evolve to this new dimension. And
does she talk about crystals and the waning moon and the moon being in Sagittarius this week?
No, but I did follow up with this stuff, and I did. You pull up your own stuff. Like, the first thing to do to become an ascendant person is you have to fully understand where you are, where you stand. Okay, so I did. You punch in your date of birth and your date of birth and the time you were born, where you were born, and you hit the button and it tells you where you, like, what your sign is aligned in. So I did mine. Okay. So I'm Capricorn. You're Capricorn, right?
Yes,
we're like a couple of days apart there. Okay. I'm on the 27th. You're on the 23rd.
Yep.
All right. To fully understand, I'm a Taurus ascendant person. So this goes on to say, to fully understand, you need to look deeply at the actual sign of Taurus, yada, 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 yada.
Does it seriously say yada, yada, yada?
Yes. But it talks about things like you said. But some of the things about me came true in this. Like, I read through this. Like, they're looking for stability, security, and quiet it takes to make sound decisions. They sometimes seclude themselves in privacy. Self-sufficient rising sons of all, able to handle anything on their own. Whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Then it goes on to about your shortcomings as well. You know, like things you don't do well, like having impatience, being stubborn and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is me, man. You know, their tempers are enormous, like a boiling kettle, and they literally become a very scary bull in a china shop. I think that's me. So yeah, you know, good and bad, I'll take it. So my question to you, Mike, I didn't plug in
Yes.
your date of birth, and I will, and I'll send it to you. Bunch of hooey, bunch of hocus pocus, or does this stuff real?
Hooey.
Okay. I'm letting you go on the
no.
record. Yeah.
A lot of generalizations that most people could pick up on. Now I'm wondering if it would be the same for me because of our birthday being exactly 4 days apart, both in the same year.
It has to do with your date of birth and your time of birth. What was your time of birth, Mike?
6:34 p.m.
All right. I'll do this later and send it to you. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
wonder
like-
if it's just, I wonder if it's going to be exactly the same as yours, considering we're exactly 4 days apart.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. I think because I was born at 2:07 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
4 days later, so I'm sure it's a little bit different. So it'd be interesting if it comes up the exact same. Then I'm calling hooey,
Well,
But
I would, I would think it would because it's, as far as the way the stars align, it was only 4 days apart. And what you read really kind of doesn't describe me at all.
well, like I said, it's a 3-page thing. I read probably 3 or 4 sentences. Some of my positive traits here. My positive traits, according to them, I'm a Taurus ascendant. Objective, practical, loving, order, hardworking, persistent, cheerful, kind, fierce, level-headed, showing a great sense of community and tradition, conscious, and sociable. My negative traits,
Level-headed, but easy to anger.
right? My negative traits: materialistic, headstrong, sluggish, dogmatic, addictive, excessive, easygoing, comfortable, fearing change, and I can be stubborn. I'm okay with all that. That's I'm not going to say it's 100% me, but yeah, okay, I'll take it. That's me. Could be worse, I guess.
Right.
Did you see that meme I put up on Facebook today?
Did you see that meme I put up on Facebook today?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's Joey Chestnut, and it's showing him with a bunch of hot dogs, and he's stuffing his face, and it's like, Joey Chestnut just ate 63 hot dogs. And then there's a picture of Kamala Harris underneath, and it's, hold my beer. Or no, Joey Chestnut smoked 63 wieners or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Wiener joke. Never mind. I told it wrong. That's all right. I'll take it out in post. So there's the world's highest looping roller coaster is open in Colorado. I don't know if this place is near your son. Do you know about it in Glenwood Springs?
I looked it up. Yeah, I saw the headline for it, and I didn't read it, but there was like a 2.5 minute newsreel video about it, and they talked about the gondola going to it and coming from it, and didn't show the roller coaster at all.
Yeah, so, I did the same thing, so I searched it out elsewhere, and I'm putting a video up here and posted the actual POV of the ride.
Okay.
It looks like a short ride, maybe less than a minute.
Now, is it tallest because it's the highest in the country?
I think that's what they mean by that because of the elevation, because it's 7,132 feet above sea level,
right,
with views of Colorado and the Roaring Fork Rivers, Mount Sopris, South Canyon, Glenwood Canyon, and Glenwood Springs during a 75-foot vertical climb. Reaches speeds of 56 miles per hour, has a 98-foot twisted top hat and switch, and 111 high-speed bank banana roll, and a 41-foot zero-G heartline roll. Whatever all those things mean, coaster enthusiasts are probably going to be on it. So, coaster has 3 cars, and each sits 8 people. What was that?
Is it a banana roll?
Yeah, I don't know what all that is. So
I had one of those at the sushi place the other day.
Nice.
Banana roll.
That's that monkeypox sushi.
Yeah, they're pushing that monkeypox pretty hard.
Yeah, dude. It's the new AIDS though. They're gonna try to push it for everybody, but it's
the only thing is, they're talking about vaccinations for it and everything else, but they're like, it's not gonna kill you. They're like, well then, next.
Right. So Hyundai and Kia are having a recall for seat belt pretensioners. Do you know what a seat belt pretensioner is, Mike?
Yes, of course.
And we explain to our fine people what a pretensioner is.
I have not a clue. I'm going to guess it's like when you hit the brakes, your seatbelt locks up.
The little thing like near the buckle there that controls, like if it gets a jerking sensation, it's going to tighten up. But if you just pull it, it allows the seatbelt to pull out. That's a pretensioner. The Hyundai Venue and the Kia Sorento are now both included in a campaign because these seatbelt pretensioners can explode. Explode.
Nice.
Can you imagine? This thing's right by your ear, right by your mouth, right by it's almost like where that cop puts the thing, for their radio, right there. Can you imagine you're driving down the road, boom, this fucking thing blows up? I mean, I can't imagine it.
I would think it would blow up from the shock of it being pulled. I would think that would be it.
Well, let me tell you here. According to Autoblog.com, Hyundai and Kia announced in late June that additional models are being added to an already expansive recall of vehicles equipped with seatbelt pretensioners that can explode in a collision, sending shrapnel into the cabin, much the way a defective airbag inflator would. Separate expansions from the two Korean brands are adding to a total number just under 90,000 vehicles of the recall population. Other vehicles that are under this recall, of course, the Hyundai Elantra, the Elantra Hybrid, the subcompact Accent, the Sorento Hybrid, yada, 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 yada. There you go.
They still make the Accent?
Buddy. Yeah.
Wow. I saw unfortunately it was white. I don't like white cars, but I saw a Hyundai Santa Cruz the other day.
You haven't seen one of those in a while. Those are old time. No. That's the pickup truck, right?
Yeah, the Santa Cruz, not the Santa Fe. The Santa Fe.
Yeah.
We actually had a Santa Fe back in the day, but the Santa Cruz is that little pickup truck. It looks kind of cool. Yeah. And granted, it was white. I don't like white, but I liked it. I don't think you could pull anything with it. You probably can't put a sheet of plywood back there, but it sure looks cool.
So our boy Kevin Smith has put out the Clerks 3 trailer. Haven't seen the trailer yet.
Oh, hell yeah. It came out 12 noon today. 12:16, I was watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see this. But for some reason they said they're bringing the sequel to the theaters for 2 nights only, September 13th and 15th.
Yup, and I already have tickets.
It's curious to me that they're doing it like that. Is that because... I don't know.
That's how he does things, and like his last 4 movies or so, he's done like that. He'll put it in like a phantom release, and for 2 nights, and all over the country, and he'll sell out each one of them. And tickets weren't more. Like, how much is a regular movie ticket? Like $12?
I don't know. I haven't been in movies in so long. Last movie I saw in a movie theater was that shark movie. What was that?
Yeah, Sharknado?
No, Jaws. Never mind. Jaws. Go ahead. 1975 reference there.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, I already got tickets. He's doing it for 2 nights. And then what he does is he's going to take it on the road. Mm-hmm. And he goes from city to city, charges $40 a person, and takes it to like a theater. So it'll be like at Dr. Phillips. Couple thousand people, $40 a head. He'll show the movie. He'll do a Q&A afterwards. That's how he's making his money.
Yeah. Where do we sign up for that one? You got to go to a place in L.A.?
Well, he only has like 20 screenings scheduled, and then there's like a Comic-Con coming up, and he's going to announce the rest of the showings at this Comic-Con.
So where are you going to see this?
On the 13th at the Epic Theater in St. Augustine. So I'm not going to the
So that's one of the 20?
No. It's 2 separate things. So he has the 13th and the 17th, you said? He's showing
and the 15th.
Yeah. You could go to a regular movie theater and see just the movie. And it's a phantom release. A phantom events?
Yes.
Like they do concerts and stuff like that at the movie theater?
Yes.
That's what he's doing here on the 13th and the 15th. And then after that, he's taking it on the road and doing a convenience store, he called it something, inconvenience or something, I don't know. But they're showing the movie and doing an actual Q&A afterwards, live Q&A, where, the 4 main characters will be there in person, and that's how he's going to make his money, $40 a head at theaters,
Right.
small theaters, Dr. Phillips size, Bob Carr size.
Doesn't his mom live down here, like in the Villages or something?
The Villages? I don't know. She used to live
She lives around here.
She used to live in the Highlands in Jersey, Red Bank. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. But yeah.
Well, I'm interested in seeing it, dude. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I was looking for merchandise. They have a new shirt for the convenience store, which kind of looks like the movies shirt that I had.
Yeah.
With the black with the yellow.
See if you can help me find where we get those made. Let's get them made for the show.
What, like a shirt like that?
Yeah,
dude, that's easy.
Okay, all right. Because I want something in 2 colors, like a black and a blue, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so do you take vitamin D, Mike?
I do. Yes.
All right.
Actually, I do.
Well,
funny
doctors
story.
warn of. Go ahead.
My sister was down, and she is 2 years older than us, and she stayed for quite a few days, and she had this thing for her pills. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday morning, Monday night, and she's pulling out all these things. And I'm like, what the hell? So the next day after she was doing it, she goes, Mike, where are your pills? And I'm like, I don't take any. I don't have any prescription pills. She's like, no high blood pressure? I'm like, no. And, cholesterol? Well, my doctor says my cholesterol's not that bad that I need to take them. And, granted, my cholesterol in the past has been really bad, but I guess as of now, it's not. And the only thing I do take is fish oil, a multivitamin, and vitamin D.
Yeah, well, that's probably all you need. But some people go overboard, and there's, I know I take more than a daily recommended allowance of vitamin D, but that lends itself to other things. But there's a thing out there. There's a disease out there, okay? And this is a real thing, and it's a man-created disease. Like, it's called hypervitaminosis D. It's a condition that's formerly known is on the rise and has been linked to a wide variety of potentially serious health conditions. This particular case causes concern for middle-aged men. Now, if you're watching or listening to the show, you're probably a middle-aged dude, okay? So pay attention here, all right? Okay. So this middle-aged man was referred to the hospital by his family doctor after complaining of recurrent vomiting, nausea, leg cramps, abdominal pain, increased thirst, dry mouth, or tinnitus, ringing in the ear, diarrhea, and weight loss. You know what I call this? A Tuesday at my house.
Right, I was going to say it's Tuesday.
Yeah. These symptoms have been present for almost 3 months, and I've started around 1 month after he started an intense vitamin supplement regimen.
Yeah.
So he got sick from taking too much. He took 150,000 international units of vitamin D daily when the daily requirement is 400. So that's like a lot. So anyway, don't consult your doctor before you do stuff like this. And if you're going to be an idiot, just know there's risk involved. Because here's the things that you can have if this happens to you. Drowsiness. These are the symptoms. Drowsiness, depression, confusion, anorexia, apathy. I mean, I used to be apathetic, but now I just don't care. Psychosis, abdominal pain, stupor, coma, vomiting, peptic ulcers, constipation, pancreatitis, abnormal heart rhythm, high blood pressure, kidney abnormalities, and renal failure.
Renal failure? Is that the technical term for explosive diarrhea?
No, renal failure is involving your kidneys, I think. Your kidneys are going to fail. Yeah, that's not good. So anyway, don't take too much vitamin D is what I'm telling you. We're at the wrap-up stage of the show here. One quick thing, Mike. The running of the Bulls at Pamplona is back. The festival is coming back after the 2-year COVID ban. You're going to go running with the Bulls.
With the Bulls? Yeah. No. Maybe a younger version of myself would have done it. But, I picture a lot of people jumping out of the way and jumping on things and getting out of the way of these Bulls. I don't think my sorry ass would be able to do it at any with any success. But yeah, I always
So I
wanted
wondered,
to do it. Thought it'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I wonder if you have to sign a waiver or something to do this.
No, if Running of the Bulls was in say Miami or anywhere in this country, there'd be all kinds of waivers to sign. You go to other countries, there's no fences saying be careful, don't fall. There's no barricades. People use common sense, and if they are dumb enough to get hurt, don't sue. Where here in this country, it's completely opposite. So yeah. There in Spain, no waivers. Here in America, yes, all kinds of waivers. You have to sign a waiver to watch it on TV here in the States. Freaking unreal.
Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us. You got any shout outs for anybody, Mike?
Yeah, no, just you. A shout out to you, Mike.
Nice. I want to give a shout out to my friend Dustin Levine over at the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. Buy tickets, go see a show, send them some money, buy advertising, support your community theater. Check out my friend Night Fan Stan at Jet Set Printing in Orlando for all your printing needs and in Central Florida. And to get on a big fish anywhere in Florida, you're going to need my man Gino Losi, GINOLOSI. Look him up on the socials. He's going to score you some monster fish. This has been 129.
Yes. A prime number.
Yes. We'll talk to you later.
Ciao.